what is the crucial element when you are setting goals and intentions is not doing something because you intellectually think that that's what you should have, but actually being real with yourself. Where are you gaining? Not just losing. You're gaining the movement. You're gaining the agility. You're gaining the confidence. You're not just losing weight.
The ability to have a medical provider, to have a nutritionist engage, or have a behavioral health therapist and a psychiatry provider engage in your care. That is the optimal way for success, because simultaneously, as you're motivated for the change, you're dealing with the mental changes that sabotage your behavior while you're learning how to take care of your body.
It's about you and me. Let's come together, positivity. Health is wealth, gotta take care of myself. Cause ain't nobody gonna make the change but me.
Hello, everyone. This is Hal Talks by YWS. I am Dr. Marshalee George, and my co-host is Ms. Mirsky. We are here to welcome you to the new year. It is 2025, guys. How are you all doing with your resolutions? I wonder if anyone fall off of that resolution yet. How do we keep it? How do we maintain it? How do we sustain it, right? Many of us have so many different resolutions that we are making, but we got to make sure that they are realistic, that we set some SMART goals, making sure that we're intentional. What do you think about that, Miss Tilly?
I think it's so important. I mean, we want to change, we want to grow, we want to evolve. Those are all beautiful aspects of life. We just need to make sure that they're aligned. So we are doing things out of love and compassion, and that we are setting ourselves up for success. Because I want you to succeed. So hopefully this episode gives you a few tidbits so that you feel more empowered and not set back by giving too rigid of resolutions. Right, Dr. George?
Exactly. Because we got to start the year strong.
Oh, yeah.
Well, very strong. And we want to make sure that we set resolutions that stick.
Mm-hmm. So there are many resolutions. I think without getting too caught up in the details, a lot of people's are health related. And these could be vast. This could be something as simple as cutting back on alcohol. That's a very common one. Exercising more, or something around losing weight is one we so often see in the clinic. All good resolutions. Now, I encourage you guys to find your why, to find your passion behind it, because it makes it stick when we have a reason, when we have care. So why do you want to give up alcohol? You know, alcohol is something we so often become dependent on. You need it to be more social and feel comfortable in different environments. You use it to reduce anxiety, whatever it may be. If you just say, let me cut out this thing, you're going to feel less inclined to do it because you've developed that dependency, that comfort with it. So Dr. George was mentioning earlier the importance of writing down your reason, of getting connected, of writing that intention down, having a visual. I would say if I were cutting out alcohol, which I actually don't drink alcohol, and I cut it out a while ago, and it was because I had that why. I wanted to move my body in a way that felt good. And when I would wake up the next morning after drinking, I'd feel stiff. I'd feel it in my joints. But I decided I wanted to feel good when I moved. I decided I wanted to have better nights of sleep and feel rejuvenated. I also decided I wanted to challenge myself and feel that I could be social in any setting and feel comfortable out there and not need a crutch. Those were my whys. Those were why I was challenging myself. And it made it so much easier to let go of something as opposed to clinging to it just because I merely was like, hey, I like it. So those were the whys. Dr. George, why don't you tell us a little bit more about how we can journal and how we can create that intention to succeed at our resolutions?
A lot of times you want to say, you could start off very simple and organic. What are the top 3 things I want to achieve this year in 2025? Sometimes the goal may be, I want to be healthy. What do you mean by that? Healthy? That's a generic term. We might say, okay, I want to be able to be more active. I want to move without pain. I want to lose weight. I want to get off my high blood pressure medication. I want to no longer have to take insulin. So you're going to see that individuals may have a whole variety of things that they may set as a resolution. But it doesn't matter what your resolution is. The key thing is how to make it stick. The first thing in making it stick, you got to write it down. Pen to paper, you're going to solidify it and you're going to sign it at the end of it because it holds you accountable. So, first thing, if I want to be healthy, I want to be healthy by losing weight. The question becomes, what is the weight that I want to achieve? That's the next thing. Well, if you're 240 pounds, the question becomes, what weights were you when you felt your best? Someone might say, well, when I was in college, I was about 170 pounds and I felt my best. I used to exercise, I used to run, and I feel very light and limber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say that's your goal. So you're going to write it down. I want to be 170 pounds. The next thing is, how do I achieve that 170 pounds? One, I know I need to eat differently. I really don't know how to do that, but I know I need to eat differently. So, in order for me to eat differently, I need help. The second one, I need to move more. I need to exercise. I don't know what type of exercise I should do. So, I'm going to need some help. So, where do I get that help? I know I may have to go to the gym and I may need to speak to a personal trainer, or I may need to go to YouTube University and see what everybody else is doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's being intentional. The next thing is that I need to feel good about myself. Self love. How do I love myself? How do I feel sexy? How do I feel beautiful? When everybody throughout my life told me that I was fat, I was ugly, they told me that I would never be nothing, they told me that nobody's gonna want me, how do I feel beautiful? Well, I need to change those negative thoughts into positive thoughts. I need to start to find the true inner child in me. I need to find my purpose. I need to find how to love myself. So, in order for me to do these things, I'm going to need help with behavioral health counseling. I'm going to need someone coaching me on the side where they're going to help me with physical activity, coach me with anxiety, managing depression, coach me with achieving my professional goals, because that is part of feeling good about myself. Is that self-actualization with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I am achieving my goals and my dreams in life. So I wrote those three things down, how I'm going to achieve it. The next stage I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to one. I need to eat healthy. I need a nutritionist to help coach me. And I need to achieve this by a specific date. Yes, you got to put a date on there. So if you say, I'm going to achieve this in 90 days or by May 1st, you put that date in there. And everything you do within that time frame has to be intentionally focused on you achieving that goal in 90 days or by May 1st. Does that make sense, Miss Tilly?
Oh, absolutely. You wrote it out perfect. And I want to just point out, because people might have, glossed over it, is she was very clear about what was achievable. She didn't just say, oh, I'm going from 200 pounds to 120 pounds in 2 months. No, she reflected not on what is this arbitrary number I want, but based off of my history, where did I feel good? Not where did I think I looked the skinniest, where did I fit into the tightest clothes, but where did I actually feel my best? And that is what is the crucial element when you are setting goals and intentions, is not doing something because you intellectually think that that's what you should have, but actually being real with yourself. Where are you gaining? not just losing. You're gaining the movement, you're gaining the agility, you're gaining the confidence. You're not just losing weight. And Dr. George talked about a holistic approach. And the thing is, so often I deal with patients who say, I'm lazy, I lack discipline, I can't help myself, I can't control myself. Those aren't real things. No one is actually really lazy. No one is actually lacking in discipline. Sometimes it's just that you don't necessarily care or have the know-how. So there's two aspects there. There's one, taking accountability that it is always your choice. You aren't lacking discipline. You just actually don't want to give your energy towards something. And that's okay. You just have to be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, there are things you do want to put your energy to, things that you are very disciplined about. So being real and being accountable about what you actually care about. So be honest. And then the second thing is seek help. What you invest is what you get. So don't just go type into AI, chat GPT, like write me a quick meal plan, get something random, or let me follow this fad diet I heard about, or like, oh, my girlfriend's doing a juice cleanse. That sounds good. Like, no, invest in something real, invest in something tangible, seek out highly qualified professionals, people who have changed other people's lives because they have that skill set. They can offer you that. And it might be an investment. It might be an investment financially, it might be an investment emotionally, or it might be an investment in time. However, if you want to get to that end result, if you want your life to change, if you are telling yourself at the beginning, I'm not willing to invest, I'm not willing to actually put into it, then you're telling yourself you're not really willing to achieve it. So tapping into, do you really want this? What are you willing to give? And that's sometimes the conversation I have with my patients at the beginning of our sessions. It's like they're not willing to change. And sometimes I tell them, you need to reflect on that. Maybe you visit behavioral health, you reflect, because I'm not going to give you a whole meal plan if you're not at all interested in it. So finding your resources, YWS has a lot of them. If Dr. George, you want to tell people some of the services that they can seek out, because at the end of the day, we just want to help you guys. We just want you to feel empowered and reach your goals.
Yeah, this is very important. We have an integrated approach in our primary care clinic. We do assess mental health in our primary care clinic because we know the mental drives the behavior. Sometimes you go to your medical provider and they may diagnose you with hypertension and they might start you on medication. They tell you how to check your blood pressure and all of these different things. But your mental would sabotage your behavior if it's not right. So, this is why it's important for us to assess your mental health during your medical visits. The second thing is that having a patient centered approach is very important in managing the whole you. So, in addition to our medical providers, we have our nutrition services and we have our behavioral health services. Under our behavioral health services, we have our psychotherapists and we have our psychiatry providers. And what's so unique about it is that we have the ability to meet as a team in a setting where we put all our emphasis on our patients' needs. And I can tell you that's the way we as providers and our patients get the best outcome. So when you're thinking of resolutions, you're not only thinking about just what it is, when you want to achieve it, it's how or who to help you get there. And when you think of the ability to have a medical provider, to have a nutritionist engage, or have a behavioral health therapist and a psychiatry provider engage in your care, that is the optimal way for success. Because simultaneously, as you're motivated for the change, you're dealing with the mental changes that sabotage your behavior while you're learning how to take care of your body. So this is very important to understand. It may not be YWS based on location, although our services, our behavioral health counseling, psychiatry services, and nutrition services is all offered remotely as well. But find one near to you that will provide you with that customized, personalized care so that you can have your best outcome. And when you write it down and you achieve your goal, you check it off. Visually, you check it off as you achieved it.
Absolutely. And just one last thing to add to that, shop around. Shop around. You're always going to find someone who fits you. And if you are seeking out help, don't feel discouraged just because you saw a doctor, you saw a nutritionist, you saw a provider that just wasn't your jam. That's okay. Just like you're dating, you didn't find your man, your woman, whoever right off the street, first person you saw, you shopped around. So do that again. Date your providers, figure them out, understand them, see if they are compatible with you. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you accomplishing what you want, you putting into it, you receiving the amount that you give, and you being organized. And most importantly, as Dr. George said, is approaching it with self-compassion and care, because at the end of the day, it's your life. Like, live it to its fullest. Let it be a good one. Any last words, Dr. George, just to wrap up and hopefully give our listeners just a little extra zhuzh so that their new year can start off on such a high note?
Self-love is one of the best things that you can think of when you starting to care for your bodies and your mental health. If you love yourself, you will make sure that you have the optimal conditions for yourself to thrive. And how we do that? By making sure that we have balance mentally, physically, and spiritually. The second thing I want to say is hold yourself accountable when you write your goals and celebrate your success, no matter how small it is. Celebrate the little wins. You're gonna, sometimes you're stepping up on the side of the mountain and you want to be at the top already, but celebrate the different distances you reach in the mountain, because eventually you're going to get to the mountaintop. But it's going to be such a celebration because you understand the obstacles that you met along the way, but you still made it. So the journey may be long. The journey may have some turns and twists along the way, but at the end of the day, you're going to get there. And what you celebrate is being the best version of yourself.
And it's perfect. The journey, guys, if you don't enjoy the journey, why are you going to enjoy the destination? You have to love the process. So let your New Year's resolutions be successful this year simply by taking the phenomenal advice that Dr. George just laid out for you.
Thank you, Miss Tilly. You give us some awesome advice as well.
We can pat each other both on the back.
Yes, yeah. All right, so stay tuned. Hal Talks have some really cool episodes coming up. Make sure you subscribe. We on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Share all links to your friends, neighbors, families, because we are here just for you.
Yes, thank you guys. Your support means the world, and we're hoping to keep putting these out there and hopefully, sparking more curiosity, more conversation, because at the end of the day, Dr. George and I, we just want to help. We just care. Thank you guys. Have a good year.
Good weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Come on, work it out. What? Come on, work it out. Come on and work it out. See, health is wealth. Come on and work it out. You at the gym right now. Come on and work it out. See, health is wealth. Come on and work it out. Yeah. Come on. It's about you and me. Let's come together, positivity. It's about me. Health is wealth. Gotta take care of myself. Cause ain't nobody gonna make the change but me. So let me put in the work.